I'm a big fan of books. I realized that there's a lot of stuff out there you can read.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the life-changing books for me was 80-20 Your Life.
80-20 rules in your foods, like in your
There's also,
diet?
it can
Or
also be
what?
applied in your diet. So basically, 80-20 rule says that 20% of the effort will create 80% of the results.
Hello world. We have some green vibes in the studio. Fritz Horstmann and I share the same interest. We live on a plant-based diet and we want to save the world. Fritz Horstmann is the CEO of a vegan coaching academy and a vegan bodybuilder. As you can see, definitely.
Working on it.
Yeah, he says his mission is to help vegans around the world discover and fulfill their true potential while saving animals and the planet. Today we are going to dig a little deeper to get a better understanding of what the health he was thinking to become fully vegan and how he has helped over years to help others to become vegan as well. Welcome to my green podcast.
Your green podcast.
My
Is this a
green
new title?
podcast. Yes.
Love it.
I'm so happy to see you again.
Yes, it's been a year, I think, since we talked last time on the podcast. And
Yeah.
a lot has happened, so I'm excited to be back and love to see your podcast is still up and crushing it.
Yes, I know. I love what I do and I love what I eat and I love how I think and everything is so connected. And I remember when we met, that was like 3 years ago, Corona just hit and we did like this Instagram live and you inspired me with your videos to talk more about my veganism journey.
It's amazing.
Yes.
And now you have your own granola.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, you
Few
just
years
tried
later,
my
I just
granola.
tried her granola for everyone watching or listening. And it's approved. It has really good ingredients, only good ingredients, and tastes really good. Very important. Macros are pretty good too. So good
Yeah.
stuff. Very inspiring. Like, I definitely want to bring out my own product at some point in the future as well.
You see, I don't know how we're going to start this conversation today, but talking about this granola now, I just wanted to show you that I really take care what I put in my body. I'm very conscious about that. And I'm just sick and tired of all these products out there, you know, like these big market things. You should try this and that with all these added sugars and oils and all these things
Yeah.
that I just don't want to put in my body.
There's a lot of products out there that claim to be healthy, but then if you look closely at the ingredients and at the macros, like it's unfortunate, like a lot of marketing, like a lot of products get marketed in a way that people think it's a great choice for their health. But what ends up happening is they start over-consuming sugar, calories, fats, and then that's unfortunately what happens for a lot of misinformed vegans who grab the healthy snack bar or the healthy cereal or whatever, and then they end up struggling. So,
So
important
what
what's
is
in the product.
definitely like, what is a red flag when you see it labeled on a product? What is a red flag that you're like, no, I'm not going to buy this?
That's interesting. I would say a red flag is low carb or no carbs, which is interesting, right? You might think, hey, no, like carbs are the reason why people struggle or the reason why people gain weight. But the low carb or no carb movement is really one of the biggest marketing gigs out there because carbs are essential for us to thrive in our workouts, to have energy every day. Our brain runs on glucose, which is carbs. So the low carb diet gained a lot of popularity the past few years because people see quick results in the first 30 days. But what they don't realize is that the reason why they drop a lot of weight very quickly eating no carbs because they're losing a lot of water weight. So it's not fat they're losing, it's mostly water weight. And then they bounce back and they yo-yo back and they keep struggling. So anything that says no carb, like low carb, I'm like, okay, this is just marketing because in the end, carbs are necessary and essential for success. Obviously, you got to set them up the right way. So you got to eat the right amounts of carbs.
Okay,
to
and
be successful.
how you actually add the carbs into your diet is very relevant. I mean, you cannot just be on a completely vegan carb diet. You need
That's
the
right.
proteins, you
That's
need
true.
like the greens, right? So what is a normal portion? How should someone start just like with the vegan diet?
Yes. How should someone start? So the thing I like to say is I think going cold turkey or cold vegan turkey, whatever you want to call it, is they should go vegan overnight. I know a lot of people say, hey, like transition, like go slowly. I personally don't believe that to be a good thing to do because when you commit overnight and you say, hey, for the next 30 days, I'm going vegan, like our mind switches and we fully commit to it. And we're like, hey, this is us now. This is our identity. And this is what I'm doing. So that's what I like to say first, like commit yourself for 30 days, set a time frame and commit yourself. And then when it comes to eating, There's a few moving parts here, of course. Try to base your diet on whole foods, right? So you want to have lentils, like beans, lentils. You want to have whole grains. You want to have nuts and seeds. You want to have fruits and vegetables. And then also don't be afraid of the substitutions such as tofu or tempeh or also some certain fake meats. And then try to have a nutrition framework. So don't just try to eat random vegan food. Have something in place where you know exactly, okay, those are the macros I need to hit, macronutrients, right? Proteins, fats, and carbs. Try to have those in place so you know exactly what and how much to eat. Because a lot of people, they go vegan, they're very committed, they're excited, they try all these things, all these recipes, and they try to be perfect, and then they end up feeling low energy, or they start losing weight or gaining weight. And if you have a framework in place that's tailored to your body, you won't have that problem. So long story short, commit for 30 days, base your diet on whole grains, lentils, beans, nuts and seeds, fruits and vegetables, and also protein sources. And then make sure you have a macronutrient framework in place to follow.
You say like 30 days, that's a good start. But where do people struggle the most? Is it week 2 or week 3 where they're like, I just want to give up and go back to my old diet?
It's a really good question. I think, honestly, across the board, I think if they don't feel better in 30 days, if they don't see great results, if they don't feel better, then most people quit around that mark, I would say. So unfortunately, a lot of people go plant-based and do it the wrong way, and then they quit after trying for 30 days. So that's what I found. The first 1, 2, 3 weeks, they're still super motivated and committed. But after a month, if they don't see results, people start questioning it.
What is their motivation? Is it to be in perfect shape or to feel more energized?
Yeah, it depends on the person.
The ethical thing.
Yeah, it really is interesting. That's why I love the plant-based lifestyle so much, because there's so many reasons, right? You have the health reason, how it's really impactful for your future health. You have the animal reason, why we're saving animal lives. And also it's great for the planet. So really all people have different reasons. For us, the people we coach, the main reason is health. So they realize, hey, I want to live long, I want to live healthy. And the best way to do that is eating plant-based diet. So health, we found is the biggest motivator for our clients. The people who are most successful, the people that get the best results, they have this underlying motivation of, I want to be healthy for my family, for my kids, for my grandkids, and I want to live long and happy. So that's the main reason.
So what was your personal journey and how did it affect you emotionally going through this vegan journey and diet?
Yeah, my journey was interesting. So I started doing fitness and bodybuilding pretty much at a young age, like 17 years old or something. Eating typical like chicken and dairy and eggs, like a lot of chicken and animal products. And then I discovered, actually this is funny because we're in Switzerland now, and Misha Janetz and Patrick Reiser, obviously are well known in Switzerland, right?
Yeah, but they're still vegans, are they?
I think so. So. I'm not sure. But I think they are. And they inspired me. They were showing on YouTube how they're eating plant-based and still getting muscle. I was like, wow, this is actually possible. And then I read the book How Not to Die from Dr. Greger, and I realized it is the healthiest diet. It is best for the planet. It's best for me. So it makes sense. So I went vegan. But then at the same time, I gained 30 pounds of weight within 4 months after going
being
plant-based.
Vegan. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was a fit omnivore eating meat and dairy. Then I went vegan and I put on 30 pounds and I looked pretty bad. I looked like out of shape. I looked like I didn't train, even though I was exercising for a long time. And that was the moment where I asked myself, hey, is this lifestyle for me? Like, is this something I can keep doing? And I was really about to quit. I was about to quit the lifestyle.
What did you do wrong at this time?
So many things.
Was it too fatty, oily vegan products involved?
So that's the thing. So on one side, yes, I was eating like vegan ice cream and vegan pizza and all that. Yes. But I wasn't a typical junk food vegan. So I wasn't just eating all of that and I didn't care. I actually ate the whole foods. I ate the lentils, I ate the beans, the quinoa. The problem was that I didn't realize that whole foods have calories too, right? You can also gain weight eating lentils, eating bananas, eating quinoa, because each food carries energy. And if you just have too much of it, you're going to gain weight. And that's what happened for me.
Let's be honest, what was too much at this time? Like you had like 5 bananas?
Yeah, I had like 5 bananas a day. I had like 200 grams of lentils. Then I had a bunch of quinoa and whole grain pasta. And my mindset was, as long as it's whole foods,
It's healthy.
It's healthy. I cannot gain weight. It's
You
impossible.
don't see the calories.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
once I realized that, working with a coach and diving more into the research, I was like, wow, this is like such a big misconception. And fortunately for me, I turned it around. I lost all the fat again, looked in incredible shape. And then also realized there's many people also going through the same struggle. So a lot of people we coach, in the past, people came to me like, hey, I'm eating healthy, but it's not working. Like I'm not gaining muscle, I'm actually gaining weight. And I realized, wow, a lot of vegans fall into this trap, which, I mean, it's great thinking. It's like, in theory, it makes sense. Like it's whole food, it's all natural, right? It's
That's
just
a
fruit.
misconception. You just think like you can go green and you're going to have the best shape ever. And you
Exactly.
think that the end result is just like going plant-based and that's it. But there's a lot of work to do.
There is work to do.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It's simple, but not easy. I like to say that. It's simple, but not easy. But once you figure it out, then the plant-based diet is the healthiest for you for the long term, if you do it the right way. So fortunately, I figured it out and I started my coaching program. And been thriving ever since.
So what happened then? I mean, from this chubby vegan, you turned into a bodybuilder?
Chubby vegan. I love that. I will
I'm
use
sorry.
that term. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I
haven't
think
used it. It's actually a good
I
one.
think I saw this one picture where you posted it, and you said that you were back then already vegan, but you were, you had muscles, but it was not lean.
I was chubby. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's good. Actually, it's good marketing term. I need to
Good.
use it for my, because I always say skinny fat vegan.
Okay.
Have you heard of the term skinny fat
Yes,
before?
skinny fat. Yeah.
So that's what I pretty much was. Like I wasn't completely like overweight, but I was definitely carrying a lot of excess fat.
And maybe water as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was also bloated. I was eating all the healthy whole foods, a lot of fiber. So I was constantly like having, just a very expanded belly and wasn't comfortable.
So how was that for you on an emotional level? Turning into
Yeah, it was
vegan?
tough. Honestly, it was tough. Like I was really used to being a fit, like guy, lean, in shape, tall, right? Like crushing it. And then all of a sudden I'm like a chubby vegan. I'm like, huh? Wow. Like I lost confidence. I got very self-conscious. I didn't believe in myself anymore. I was still posting on social media, so I was still like learning and getting better every day, but I definitely wasn't myself. Like if you look at all the pictures and videos versus now, like it's really night and day difference, like in terms of confidence, in terms of energy. So it definitely took a hit on my confidence, and it was a hard time. But yeah, I worked on it and dug myself out of the pit, if you want to say that.
What was your motivation back then when you were in this dark place? And I think everyone can relate to you.
Yeah, motivation was, I realized like I have so much more potential. Like, yes, I could keep living that way, but I was not satisfied with that. I realized I was destined for more. Like I have more potential, and this can't be it. Like I'm not giving up, right? I'm not a person who gives up. Like I used to play soccer in a team for 10 years, always exercising, always like aiming to be the best at class, like always aiming to be the top performer. So being in that body, like the way I was feeling inside, like wasn't reflected on the outside. And I was like, this can't be it. Like it needs to change. So that's why, again, invested in a coach, did a lot of research on plant-based nutrition, which there wasn't much out there. Like when I started 5 years ago, there was some books and stuff, but like there was no coaches, nothing. Nowadays, there's a lot of content, a lot of stuff, which is great. But I had to dig everything up, and fortunately I did.
Wow, I'm very happy for you.
Thank
You
you.
just said like 5 years you've been on this journey.
6 years vegan now.
6 years. I started 2014, and the last thing I gave up was fish. I think that was 15. So almost a decade now. And interestingly, it's really wow, yeah. But at the beginning, it was a problem for my family, for my friends, and for everyone. But looking back, I was super, super skinny on a vegan diet. And after 2 years, I had this moment where my body, I can tell like every cell of my body was renewing itself. And I was in like deep pain, and I knew like either I continue living this lifestyle because I know something is happening now with my body, or I'm gonna go back to my old diet. And I stayed with the vegan diet. And trust me, after that, it just spiked up. Like I had a lot more energy. I looked so much better. I gained healthy weight and muscles. So I think that everyone goes through this where you can completely feel your body is cleansing in a spiritual level and also in a physical level.
Why do you think that is?
Because I think all the toxic things in my body went out. I flushed it out. And I also became very spiritual. That's one of the reasons why I'm also didn't want to have like a slaughterhouse in my body.
Yeah,
you
right.
know? And it
Body's
doesn't
a temple.
Exactly, it's my temple. And it doesn't make sense that people are feeding their body with like these 5 animals, but you have thousands of plants. So why is it not healthy to be vegan when you have thousands of options, but you only eat like limited to 5-10 animals?
Yeah, it just feels right. Like one of the reasons why I went plant-based as well and stay plant-based, because it just makes you feel like you're doing the right thing and you're giving your body what it really wants and needs. And you're not consuming the stress that happened because like when the cow got killed, or like you're not ingesting that energy. You're basically just protecting yourself and keeping your energy clean. And I know it's like woo talk, and I'm a very logical and like science guy, so the facts are there.
You're so logical, I know.
Yes.
I'm more like, I'm there, and you're like, no, I'm grounded. Okay, listen, these are the facts. This is so you.
And I love that. So I'm very logical, but I also realize like there's a huge energy piece that you can't really put into words or numbers or science. It's just like, it makes sense. Like I don't want to eat something that had to suffer or that was scared, or you're right. You want to keep your energy grounded. So.
Yeah. Do you take any supplements?
Yes.
You do?
I do. I take a bunch of them. So when you go vegan, there's a few supplements that are crucial. So first one is B12 for sure. B12 is something you don't get from a plant-based diet, so you have to supplement it. Funnily enough, all meat eaters always say, yeah, like you gotta have B12, else you will struggle. And the funny thing is, what they do, they supplement B12 into the meat. So also meat eaters actually get supplemented, but they just don't know. Then secondly, omega-3, very important. So omega-3 is very anti-inflammatory, and a lot of vegans don't get enough of it. Yes, you can eat flax seeds and chia seeds and walnuts. However, this is not the omega-3 form that you want, because I'm not getting too sciencey here, but the form of omega-3 that's in the flax seeds is called ALA, and it has to get converted when you ingest it to EPA and DHA. And EPA and DHA is like the gold. That's like what you want out of the omega-3 source. So if you eat flax seeds only, then you're not getting enough EPA and DHA. So that's why you gotta supplement with an algae-based supplement. So you can buy this everywhere online, like vegan omega-3 supplement. Vitamin D, also crucial. Vitamin D3, this is crucial for everyone, not just vegans. Because we get it from the sun, but we don't absorb enough from it. So we gotta supplement it. And then protein powder is also very helpful, right? So if you wanna build muscle, wanna get lean and toned, and also feel good, like protein makes you feel good and satisfied every day, you gotta have those protein
Oh my God, now this is actually a topic I really want to talk about. First, I have to let you know that I don't supplement all my life. No supplements.
Oh no.
It's unbelievable. Do you see me? I mean,
are you still alive?
I'm still alive, yeah, and I feel great. I mean, maybe everybody is very different. I think for someone who just turns or starts a vegan diet, it's very, very important. But for me, in my body, it doesn't make sense to supplement something when the best vegan diet is like the best diet is a vegan diet. I mean, back then they couldn't supplement it, so I don't see it in my mind why I should do it. But maybe it's like a belief that I carry with me. And it works for me, but not for everyone. Don't try this out. Just let me be who I am. Yeah.
Yeah, if you get a blood test done and you're
I would
fine,
love to do it, and I want to show it to you.
let's do it. Yeah.
I really want to show you how it works.
I would actually be very curious.
No B12, no D3, vitamin, nothing.
I think you would feel better and you would recover better from your workouts if you take all these supplements.
Okay.
But yeah, get a blood test. We can have a look.
I really want to do this just for us to see how it
It's also
looks.
interesting because like blood tests in general. So I just got a DEXA scan actually a week ago in Zurich here. So I want to do this more often. So I want to have a DEXA scan, which is basically a body fat scan and like muscle mass scan, and a blood test like every 3 months to really check in with myself how I'm doing. Because obviously looks is one thing and feeling good is one thing.
Yeah.
Which is important, but you also want to exactly know what's going on, right? Don't you want to know, like, okay, how am I actually doing? Like, what's in my blood? Like, am I getting all my vitamins and my minerals? And how's my testosterone? I got my testosterone tested end of last year because I've had enough of people telling me, yeah, like, your testosterone will lower if you eat soy. Like, aren't you scared? And
Is that just a belief or is it true?
no, that's just, yes, it's just a belief. So I got my results and I'm at 733 nanogram per deciliter, which for context, the average is around 500 for a male. So I'm above average when it comes to my testosterone. So if you eat soy, you don't have to worry about losing either losing sex drive or getting man boobs. That's all not true.
Good. Thanks for clearing this out. Really.
For sure.
That's very important. Yeah, but protein powders. Okay, my current diet, and I know you're a coach, so I need your opinion on this for everyone who's listening. I'm on a raw vegan diet at home, but I do protein powders because I need that. I'm on a high protein raw vegan diet. Have you ever heard that?
I haven't, no.
And it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I feel my body looks so much better. I feel good. I do better workouts. I also do like this kältekammer. How do you say that in English? Like cryotherapy.
Cryotherapy, yeah.
Yeah. Minus 100 Celsius, 7 minutes. Can you believe that?
That's strong.
I know. And they don't want to let me be longer in this icebox.
They're like, come out now.
Yeah, you have to come out. I'm like, no, please let me do it. But
Amazing.
I see something has changed. And I think that at this fully raw Christine, she's on YouTube, she inspired me to do raw vegan even like 10 years ago, where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do it as much as I can at home. But now I'm not even eating out anymore because I know when I do my dressing at home, how I prepare my food is so clean.
Right? Yeah, it's so good.
It changed a lot. It's changed a lot, yeah.
I had that when I was in Cape Town beginning this year. I was eating out every day for like 2 months straight. Like I wasn't cooking a single thing. And it was terrible. Like I felt so low energy. I had no strength. I put on like quite a bit of fat, lost muscle. And the whole time I was like, what is this? Like I'm training, like I'm working hard, I'm moving my body. Then like, oh wow, like I'm eating out every day. And I was like, okay, I've had enough. So I got myself a chef. In Cape Town, it's very inexpensive to get a personal chef. I gave her the macros, the exact macros I need to the T. She made me breakfast, lunch, dinner, brought it to the apartment. And guess what? After 4 days, I was like feeling like on top of the world. I was feeling so energetic, strong. I was like, wow, like eating out, yes, it's fun, it's social, like it's tasty. But overall, if you look at the long term, the big picture of your life, if you eat out like every day, multiple times for like 20, 30, 40 plus years, you're probably losing like years of your life in terms of health, but also in terms of energy, in terms of well-being. So I'm a huge fan of cooking at home now. And while I was always pretty excited about eating out, now I'm like, do I have to? Like, yeah, it's nice, but like I'd rather eat at home. So
I just love what you shared with us. Really.
It's really true.
Yeah,
like they put so much oil and salt and sugar, and you don't even know how many calories there's in there. Usually it's low in protein, low in nutrients because restaurants, and you can't blame them, right? Like they're motivated to make something tasty, so you come back. If it's just like super healthy and it tastes bland, no one's gonna come back. So they are optimizing for, okay, what taste is the best? So it's add a bunch of oil and salt, and it's not optimized for health or for fitness, really.
Exactly, and this awareness gives me the understanding that cooking at home is the best. I'm not going out to eat. I'm going out to socialize with people. This is how I see life now.
Yes, exactly.
And what I put in my body defines my tomorrow. So the cleaner I eat, the more energy I will have. And I don't do salt and oils at home. But this is the thing why I'm actually saying that I'm a raw vegan high on protein diet is high protein raw vegan diet, whatever, is because I realized for myself that, you know, every time I eat out, I don't feel good. So at least in my temple at home, I really want to feel good. And I'm traveling a lot, as you know, and you're also traveling a lot. And every time going just out and eat or just snacking, I don't want that.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and it's a big realization, and it's actually something. So I used to think that, oh, like I'm a weirdo for not going out to eat with him, or for ordering like something very like special that isn't even on the menu.
You have to explain it. Like,
Yeah, like
I'm allergic to milk, eggs, fish, and
Yeah.
dairy. This is
like,
the best way to express it.
Okay, can you put a meal together for me? Do you have rice? Yes. Do you have veggies? Yes. Do you have some beans? Yes. Like basically putting together the meal for them. And in the past, I might have felt weird about that, but now I'm like, no, like I want extraordinary results. I want to be different. I don't want to be average. So I have to do things that average people don't do, and that means maybe not going out to eat, or maybe bringing my own stuff, or asking specifically for certain things, or just putting yourself in situations where you know your strengths and where you know you can thrive. So a lot of the time, we as humans, we want to adapt. We want to go with the herd, right? What everybody else is doing. But we forget about us. We forget what is good for us, what is good for our goals, what's good for our vision. And if you have aspiring vision that you want to be lean and fit and strong and different and extraordinary, you can't just be eating out every day with your friends who don't have that aspiration. Like they don't care. They don't care about your goals and aspirations. And it's not bad. Like they're not bad friends for that. But it's in the end, you gotta take ownership for what you want. And if you get yourself derailed by that, you're not gonna get there.
But this is very important now. When someone is starting a vegan diet and the family and friends and their surroundings are not supporting them fully, how can someone adapt this new
Cut 'em
lifestyle?
out.
Yes.
Cut out the friends.
I mean, exactly. Yeah. What to order, where to go, with where to socialize. You know, I mean, there's so many questions because you don't have this strong mindset. So how can you develop it also in the food area? I mean, it's a reflection of who you are. It's a relationship. Food is a relationship. How you feel is how you eat.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on one side, I think firstly having the conviction, having the motivation on why you do it is important, like really being strongly connected to that. Why do you want to be plant-based? Why do you want to eat healthy? I know it sounds cheesy, but a lot of people don't go deep enough. So there's a 7 levels of why exercise we like to do with our clients. So we basically ask why 7 times, and then you really find a deep-rooted reason why you want to do something. So if you say, hey, I want to be plant-based to be lean and fit, why? Yeah, exactly. Okay, I want to look good for dating, for finding my mate, for finding a person that I want to spend my life with.
Why?
Yeah, like
That's
okay,
cool.
like the deeper you go, it's like, okay, why do you want to find a relationship or a mate? Like, because I feel lonely, I don't feel connected. I don't have anyone I can share my life with, and
Here comes a why.
and then there's another why. Then you realize, like, okay, wow, like,
What is the outcome of these why questions? What is like the 7th answer you sometimes get from your client?
so it's a very private exercise, so we don't necessarily ask them for it. They can keep it for themselves because it's very private stuff, right? Because the moment you get to 7 levels, it's like childhood trauma, it's parents' trauma, it's all kinds of things that might come up. I mean, for me, like looking back at my childhood, I was always a skinny guy. So probably the reason why I do this so hard and I keep pushing is because everyone called me skinny and weak when I was.
You really look good. I can give you a compliment
Thank
because
you.
we're friends. You really look good.
Appreciate
Super
it.
healthy and super strong. You know, like I know you're in a very good place. I can feel that.
Thank
I'm
you.
so happy to see this.
Yeah, it's been last year. It's been really transformational for me. I've learned a lot and been taking good care of myself, for sure.
Great.
So have the big reason, the why, and then okay, how do you act? Like I know it's like a big question. How do you act in social situations? Where do you eat? Where do you eat?
Yeah. I mean, everyone goes for beef and chicken, and here's the tofu guy.
He's a tofu guy. Yeah. So it's going to be a change. It's going to be painful at times. People are going to make fun. People are going to make comments. But I believe that it's one of the best personal development experiences you can go through. Because what else builds character than constantly like someone being against you or someone not believing in your values or someone challenging you? Nowadays, we always like to have life be easy, but going plant-based will challenge you and it will build character, will build strength. And once you have just gone through that and build a bit of strength and build a bit of confidence in your own nutrition, then I would actually consider to go to communities, go to meetups, join coaching programs where you can have an online community that does meetups, and be proactive about finding people who are into health. Don't even have to be vegan. If you find someone that's also into fitness, into health, that's how I got into the whole business and personal development space. I was just a kid eating plant-based, right, by myself. Then was posting on social media. And then I reached out to a few people on Instagram and they did a vegan meetup in Berlin. I went to the meetup, made friends with them. We chilled together. Then we exchanged ideas about building a coaching program, a business, started building the business. Then now, last year, I got to meet a lot of entrepreneurs that are also building other businesses. So now I have another community. So it's like, do your own thing, be convicted, like actually put in the work, right? It takes time to learn vegan diet. You don't learn it overnight.
Yeah.
And then you can reach out and connect with others around your passion. And then it becomes a snowball. So
this is so amazing. It's basically you attract what you are. And all these people are very conscious about their body, about their mindset. And these are mostly entrepreneurs.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they aim for something. They're not just sleepwalking through life. They know where they're going.
Exactly. So that's why I like the vegan diet, because it makes you think different. It makes you think outside the box. And it makes you think outside the system. And obviously, if you think outside the box and outside the system, normal or average people will not understand. They'll be like, hey, why are you vegan? Like,
exactly.
So you got to step outside of the comfort zone.
I have to ask you right away, would you ever date someone who's not vegan? And will it be a problem for you if your future wife is not on a vegan diet?
She has to be vegetarian.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be vegan, but like she can't be eating like meat.
For your child or for your household?
That's a really good question. I haven't thought about this in detail.
I don't know why, but I just
I haven't thought about this in detail. I think for my child, I wouldn't force the vegan diet on them, to be honest.
You would not force it?
I think they can make that decision on their own. They can make an educated decision. We will educate them, but for some reason, so I haven't looked much into it, but I don't want my child to be, to start in a social environment already being like an outlier at an early age, because that then maybe isolates them. Whereas the other kids, like if other kids go to McDonald's and our kid like is just not eating anything or it's just like whatever. I don't know about that. I haven't thought about it, to be honest. Like I definitely don't believe in like the normal system anyway, but I think I would give them their own choice. For my partner though, has to be plant-based vegetarian at least, and no meat for sure.
Okay. I mean, it's very honest. Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, well, I think it's always free choice. But the fact is that I'm going to carry a baby. And for myself, I'm never going to change my diet. And I believe that when I'm pregnant, maybe then I have to supplement some things. Maybe we can talk about that later. But as long as, I know that I want to raise my child the way I eat, what happens at home should stay at home. And outside, you can make your own decisions. I think this is healthy. But if my mom would look after my child and she would try to feed my child with meat and eggs and so on, that would be a problem. Oh, for sure, because she's Serbian, really.
Oh, yeah.
I want my child to decide and inform my child what you're going to put in their mouth. Because I want this consciousness, to have to have like an open communication with the child. This is very important.
I like that.
And if you pet it, you should know that you can kill it and eat it. Do you want that?
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
I love that you've thought about that. That's good.
Yeah. Because I see how people feed their children, and I'm like, I would never do this. Also products. We had this topic before.
Yeah.
There's so many red flags.
I mean, that's really a given. I've realized over the past half a year to a year that I don't want to live within societal norms with my family long term. So I don't know if I want to send them to public school, right? I don't know about that. I don't want to have them be brainwashed by the government on things I don't believe in. But then I also realized that obviously you learn social skills in public schools. You learn how to like act with other people.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see a future like, I don't know, 20, 30 years down the road where I live like on a farm, big farm. I have my own like gym and my own like just own ecosystem with everything, with the whole family.
Yeah.
I don't see myself like 30 years plus living in like a big city somewhere and like living like a city life.
I love that. People just start to change. They don't want this city life anymore. It's too much for our brains.
Yeah.
It calms you down to look at the green landscape or to go and have a walk at the beach. It does something to you vibrationally as well.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I mean, I've always loved living in big cities in Berlin. And I do see the benefit. Like, I think every city and every location has its own benefit for a certain amount of time. So, for example, if you are really in a work season, you want to like get stuff done and you want to be motivated, then living in cities like London or New York, like that's gonna motivate you. You're gonna be like, okay, like I gotta hustle, gotta put in the work. But then maybe not for the whole year, maybe just for 3 to 6 months a year. And then you say, okay, I've had enough. I've put in a lot of work. Let me go to Switzerland where it's more green, it's a little bit more slow life, slow lifestyle, and still work, but maybe more on passion projects, maybe think bigger picture, maybe take some time to get present.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my mentors, that's what I recently just learned, is like, hey, you can have different places where you live every year if you're able to work remotely.
I love that. It's Tapetenwechsel in German.
Tapetenwechsel.
Ja, genau.
Yeah, I love it. It's true. So my rotation is Cape Town for like the beginning of the year when it's cold in Europe. Cape Town is really a networking city. So yes, I work as I always do, but I realized there, like you definitely have more networking opportunity, get to know new people, new connections. So I'll probably spend more time doing that. But then after a few months, I realized, okay, like I've had enough. Like I've made some good friendships and connections. I want to go back to the cave and work, right? So then I might go to a bigger city or just home, which is now Lucerne, and just work for 3 months straight, like I just did. And then maybe I'm like, okay, I've got some really good stuff going and stuff is going well. I need a bit of a break. So now European summer, I might go to Ibiza for 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Or I might go to the beach somewhere to like relax a bit. And then I want to go back to work. So Tapetenwechsel is definitely a game changer.
And it gives you inspiration as well.
Yes.
And that's
you know
beauty
it's best, right? You're on the go a lot.
Yes, I do.
How do you manage?
I just love flying everywhere. It's my inspiration. For my podcast, I need stories. I cannot just sit in my apartment and waiting for life to happen. I have to go and live my life. And this is how I see life. You should live and experience life, talk to people, try new things. So whatever my life is out there, it's always here in the studio at the end. Because all my questions are based on my beliefs, on my experience, on my interaction with people. I think this is the beauty of living on this planet Earth.
Road to success.
Road to success, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I can relate to that because I used to just sit at home working pretty much like 4 years straight on the business.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't go out, I didn't travel, I didn't do anything. And you just don't grow enough. Like, yes, you make progress with the business or the project you're working on, but you don't learn anything about like soft skills. You don't learn anything about other cultures. You don't get to network. Like, you're missing out on a lot of things that can propel you forward much quicker. So one connection I made in Cape Town, like literally one person, like is changing a big piece of the business, like a very important piece. So if I would have sat at home, I would have never made that connection. Like there's also another one of my friends. He's like more in networking and like social environments, like coaching. He puts it really well. So basically, if you think about it, let's say in a whole week, like for lunch, you have lunch at home. Who do you meet if you live alone? No one. Like zero. Like the chance of you meeting someone is basically
My YouTube
zero.
channel.
Exactly.
My YouTube channel.
You can watch videos. So, but what if you, for lunch every day, you just go somewhere to eat, like in the city? What are your chances of meeting someone that can change your life? If you do this 7 times a week for 52 weeks, you have 350 opportunities every year to meet a person that changes your life. So it might be a relationship. You might see someone beautiful or someone that you want to connect with, or it might be someone that is also like doing what you do. So while I don't go to eat out every day, it's a really good way to think about developing and making connections, putting yourself into places where people go that you want to connect with, and then making a conscious effort and putting luck into your favor, right? Luck is also a big thing.
It is.
But how can you be lucky sitting at home eating lunch, or are you luckier if you eat out and have lunch?
But now it's contradiction. So first we say
I
don't
know,
go out
I
and
know.
eat, but now for socializing it's very important to go and out and eat. But
So-
maybe you can have a coffee.
Exactly.
That's a thing.
Have a coffee, go with a book, or just sit and have a water. Like
Or you have your lunchbox with you in a park.
exactly. Yeah,
At least you're out there.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
always steps.
I like that, what you just shared, because you have like 350 opportunities to get out of your comfort zone and do something. Do the first step, the first move towards someone.
Do something.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, or in a gym. Like every time you go to a gym, talk to one person.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
you might know, like you might get to know someone that is working on something that could help you or whatever. So this is interesting for me because I've always been an introvert. I'm not like the type of person who's like, I need to get to know new people every day.
Yeah.
So this was a really good mindset shift for me, for my logical side. But I'm like, okay, that makes sense. 350 days, I have 350 opportunities. So for me, I see it more on a bigger scale. So I do like 2 or 3 months of like isolation, like just working and nothing. And then I do like 1 or 2 months of like travel and networking. Then I go back home. Like that's how I'm
Balanced.
doing it right now.
It's balanced.
Yeah.
So you're always on the go somehow
Yes,
in your company, working or physically traveling.
that's right.
So how
Because both
impor-
combined is
Yeah.
tough.
It is,
Yeah.
but if you split it.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think, but for someone who has an 8 to 5 job, he also has to move his body, you know. So how important is it actually to be in motion, to go and do a physical workout?
So
What are the
crucial.
benefits?
Yeah, I mean, you know what they say, sitting is the new smoking.
No,
Have you
never
heard of
heard
that saying
that.
before?
No, chubby vegan, never heard that before. Okay.
Sitting is the new smoking.
Is that
you heard it
true?
here first.
Okay.
So obviously that's overplayed, but it really is. Like when you think about it, what happens if you sit all day? Like your back hurts,
I get
your
depressed.
posture changes. Like you said, you get depressed. Your posture influences how you feel about yourself. So if you are hunched over, like you're gonna feel low confident, you're gonna feel low energy. If you have your chest out and you're like upright, it's like, hey, let's go. So how important is movement? I mean, everybody knows it's crucial, but more importantly than ever, because a lot of people are working office jobs 9 hours a day. They take the car, they take the subway, and they don't move their body. And your body will get used to that. Your body will adapt to what you expose it to. So if you sit all day, your body will be like, oh, I guess that's all I need to do. So let me put on some extra fat in the stomach area, right? Let me, like the back will be kind of tough to sustain. So let's put some pain there. And your body will basically adjust. You will lose muscle in your upper body, lower body. And what you can do, I know everybody here is busy, has stuff to do, has family, has work. You don't need to work out like 10 hours a week, right? You can work out 20 minutes a day and
Like
you already
walking?
make a huge difference.
Or what is it? Like what kind of a workout would you suggest?
So I would definitely suggest to at least 3 times a week elevate your heart rate. So meaning do some type of exercise that elevates your heart rate. So it could be running, it could be lifting, which I think is the best they can do. And for 20 minutes, it could be literally like a workout with dumbbells or with bands at home. It could be a gym workout 3 times a week. And then in addition to that, the walking, right? So getting your steps in. I know you're a big fan of that too.
I do. Yeah.
Going on walks every day. And you can split them out through the day. You don't have to do like long walks. Do like 20-minute walks 2 or 3 times a day in your lunch break, after work. And put your body into motion, because then your body's like adjusting to it and will lose fat, and you will have better metabolism and also feel better, right? If you feel sluggish right now because you're at the office desk all day, then chances are you're not moving your body enough. You're not feeding your body with good nutrients, and you're also not having a vision. You don't have a big picture in mind. Where do you want to go?
That's very well explained. I really hope that we can inspire people to put their sneakers on and just go out for a walk or for a run.
And it's also
serotonin. You actually
makes you feel so much better, especially if you're in nature. There's studies showing that you feel happier when you spend like 10 minutes in nature per day. And it's not that much. Just gonna walk in nature if you can, and you're gonna feel free. Your mind's gonna feel really good.
I like that. Yes, thank you so much for sharing this. So, how important are calories in a vegan diet? Because everyone is tracking their calories, and I'm definitely one of these girls. Because I don't want to put like a lot of calories, but I'm sitting all day, for example, and when it happens, then But I'm the girl who's not sitting. I'm actually working out a lot, and I want to have a lean, sporty, sexy, feminine body. That's what I want, and I cannot stay on 1,000 calories. I need a lot more. So should we track our calories, or should we just live our lives and don't be worried if we have 1 or 2 more glasses of wine with extra added calories? You know what I mean? Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of calorie tracking as a beginner. So if you are currently starting your fitness journey, or you've been stuck for a while and you don't see results, then getting an app like MyFitnessPal or Chronometer will help you a lot, because you're going to see exactly what you're eating, and you'll realize, wow, that handful of nuts I'm having in the afternoon is actually 500 calories.
Exactly.
It's mind-blowing if you think about it. Like a handful of nuts can offset an hour of workouts.
The funny thing is, it's clean nuts. Then you have like the restaurant nuts who are like roasted and salty, and these are even more calories that you're going to put in your body.
So start tracking your calories and learn about food, learn what you're actually consuming. And then you get a better understanding about food. You realize, okay, wow, like this restaurant meal, maybe not the best choice, but this one looks better. So it really teaches you a skill. And then later on, you can go and progress away from calorie tracking. You don't need to do it for the rest of your life. You can, of course, if you enjoy it and if it works for you. But I personally, like most of the year, I don't track.
But you do it in your mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I also do. I mean, I have to know that a cappuccino has like 140, 120 calories. Then I'd rather go for black coffee. I feel better.
That's right. Coffee is not a great point. Like, especially people in the US, they go to Starbucks. They have these massive, like lattes.
Extra super, super large.
Extra super large, like cream on top, like everything. Like these things pack like 700 calories. And it's just a coffee, right?
Oh my God.
But even if you have like a few cappuccinos every day, like with oat milk, it also adds up. So not saying that you just have to be obsessed and like stress every day, but it really teaches you a lot. And I think if you're currently stuck or beginning your journey, definitely calorie track. And then it teaches you a skill. And then later on, you can be more intuitive with it, which is the goal.
How can someone know how much calorie intake is the right amount?
Yes, so there's different calculators online, which sometimes are accurate, sometimes not. An easy formula you can use right now, watching this or listening to this, is take your current body weight in pounds. So you might be in Europe, metric system, then you just convert it to pounds, and then multiply it by 15 to get your daily average. This is like how much calories you burn every single day.
When you're not moving.
When you're not moving, when you're just existing, basically.
Yeah. Breathing.
Yes.
Yeah. Breathing, it takes a lot of calories.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and everything else you do in your life, just like moving and not eating. It's incredible what the body does.
So for my example so I weigh around 200 pounds right now. So I'm pretty much exactly at 3,000 calories what I burn every day, which is actually not that far away from my actual number. So obviously this is a very general estimation, but that's how much you burn every day. Now, if you want to lose fat and lose weight, you got to eat less than that.
Yeah.
So I would have to eat below 3,000, so 2,500, 2,700.
But where do you put the focus? More on proteins or on carbs?
Proteins, for sure. Yes.
Okay.
So
maybe you should talk about that as well, so we know like the calories can also be counted by the carbs or the proteins.
Yes. So we have proteins, fats, and carbs. So this is like the basic breakdown. You have the overall calories, and those are filled with protein, fats, and carbs, right? Those are the building blocks of your day. Now, if you want to maximize your fitness results, look leaner, more toned, stronger, you want to get enough protein. So a lot of vegans don't get that, for example. How much protein should you get? This depends on your goal. I like to say around 1.6 to 2 grams per kilogram body weight. If you're in the imperial system with pounds, then you should eat 1 gram per pound of goal body weight in protein.
Of goal body weight.
Yes.
Wow, that's a difference.
Yeah. So when I'm 200 pounds now and I want to get to 180, then I should eat 180 grams of protein, because I don't want to feed my body fat. I want to feed the muscle only, right? So if my goal is to lose body fat, then you want to eat that amount of protein and not from your current body. Now it sounds kind of complicated, but just eat the numbers I just told you.
Yeah.
And then you have the fat intake, which is if you're want to lose fat, you want to eat between 0.5 to 0.8 grams of fat per kilogram.
Per kilo, okay.
So if I weigh, let's say 90 kilos right now, I should eat between 45 to 70 grams of fat.
How much avocados are that? Like 70 grams, just to have like a number.
That's a good question.
So we can relate to at least something.
let me look it up. I actually don't have it in my mind, but it's a good question. So when it comes to...
Because I always need something to relate with, and I know 4 grams of sugar is a tablespoon of sugar. So it's 4 grams. So I know how I feed myself then.
Very good. Yeah. So one avocado has 240 calories and 22 grams of fat.
And you need 3 avocados every day.
Max.
So to speak. Yeah. Interesting.
So...
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Now let's look at some nuts maybe next. So yeah, there's different levels.
Probably 4 hands of nuts.
Yeah, it's like 1 hand of nuts, I would say. So this depends on which system you make. I don't want to confuse people. But nuts are also very, very calorie nuts and fat dense.
But we need them.
Yes.
We need nuts for your brain and for the fats.
Nuts are healthy. I wouldn't overconsume them. So I'm personally not a big fan. People say it's a healthy snack. Yeah, they're good for you, but how do you define a healthy snack? I personally define it as something that satisfies me, that helps me hit my protein goals, and it gives me energy.
So yeah, basically we need like a certain amount of fats for our bodies. But let's talk about your mindset, because now I can see that everything is so connected. What you put in your body is also what you vibrate, right? Is there anything that people can read out there, like a recommendation that you can give them? What should they do in their lives to become better?
Yes, I love that. I'm a big fan of books. I realized that there's a lot of stuff out there you can read. I think one of the life-changing books for me was 80-20 Your Life.
80-20 rules in your foods, like in your
There's
diet?
It can also be applied in your diet. So basically, the 80-20 rule says that 20% of the effort will create 80% of the results. So a lot of people think, okay, if I want double the results, then you put in double the effort, which is not true. So this book really dives into how you can use this for business, how you can use this for nutrition as well. I mean, it's true. A lot of people, they want to be perfect on every single thing in their nutrition. But the truth is, it really comes down to your calories and macros. If you get these two things right, you will see 80% of the results. But I also like to apply this for life. So
I like that.
what are the 20% of things that are going to make me have a fulfilled and happy life and make me really live life to the fullest? And in the book, he talks about what he calls happiness islands. So what are things, small things that make you really happy every day? It could be having a cup of coffee in the morning. It could be going on a walk in the morning right away. It could be, for me, it's going to the sauna, right? I feel so good after. I'm like, I love my life. This is great. So what are those things? Like, if you listen to this right now, make a list of those small things that make you really happy and try to do more of them, because these things make you happy. So a lot of people think to be happy, you got to have like big trips, like big vacations and like big things. But yes, those are nice, but most of the time, the small things make you just as happy.
It adds up.
And you can have them every day as much as you want. And then also make a list of things that don't make you happy, right? What are things that you don't feel good after, that don't give you energy? And also with people, right? So people are so crucial. What kind of people give you energy after you were with them? And what kind of people you feel worse after being with them? So I personally have a few people where I'm like, when I'm with them, life is amazing. Like, it's so fun. I'm happy. I'm in the moment. Then I have had friends in the past where I felt worse after spending time with them. So I spend less time or cut them out of my life. And it is a game changer. It's going to change your life. And it's going to make you feel so much better every day.
It's interesting what you just said. Like, let's go back to the vegan diet. If you surround yourself with people who are very much alive and positive, let's say it's like a plant, right? You surround yourself with plants. And then you go to this other environment where you can surround yourself with, let's say, alcohol and cigarettes and drugs. That if you put that with people, then it makes sense what it does to your energy.
Right. And if you think about it, what kind of people have to go party every month or every week? What kind of people have to drink multiple times? Like people who aren't happy, people that search alcohol and drugs to become happy. Obviously, I'm also a person, I want to have fun. I'm not saying never have alcohol, never party. But if you spend a lot of time in those environments, like constantly partying, traveling around, finding the next festival, the next club, then you're probably going to spend more time with people who are coping, who are not happy with their daily life, and they have to party to make up for it.
Compensate an emotion, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's not real life.
It's not real life. I mean, if you have a career in that, if you're a DJ or a promoter, then okay, right? But if you spend a lot of time in these environments and it's not your passion, it's not something that you can make a living with and help people with, then maybe something to look at. How was it for you when you were in the US?
My US
LA?
experience. Okay, so nutrition-wise, I tried to stay a healthy vegan, but it was so hard. I don't know how the Americans do it, but there's a huge difference how healthy I can live in Switzerland with my organic products and my organic way of living, and the organic way in the US. You cannot compare it to Switzerland. Not like, it makes no sense. And I went to Whole Foods on the buffet, to prepare my food, and it was all raw. But I ended up being sick. So how come? So something must be in their foods that it's not healthy at all. And it's not easy to explain it from my perspective, because you have to come to Switzerland to see and live it. And then you can see the difference. It's so clear. And I also went sometimes to have a vegan burger or a vegan pizza, in all these restaurants. But it was like on a specific day. For us women, we are always in a system. Something happens with our bodies. So when I had like cravings, I would go to Gracias Madre and go for the biggest dessert. But then I would have this sugar shock, and I would feel bad at the end. So it was more on a specific date where I would go out and eat out. But other than that, I was more in the kitchen and on coffee dates with friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually a great tip. We talked about this earlier. Like, you don't have to eat out. You can also just have a coffee with people, and
Yeah.
that's you can keep your nutrition in check. But I feel the same way. Every time I go to the US, I feel more tired. I feel more sluggish. And it is the air. It is the quality of food. It is the water, 100%. So if you listen to this and you are in the US, try to really dial in your nutrition and only buy the best stuff because it really is affecting you. Also, funny story, I was going to Starbucks because if you're in the US, you go to Starbucks, right? And I was like getting the iced latte and I was like, wow, like this is great. Like I have so much energy. This is amazing. And then I kept going there every day. And then one time I asked them, okay, how many shots is in there actually? And she said there's 4 espresso shots in a normal like iced latte.
Oh my God, 4 espresso shots.
And I was wondering like, why do I feel so amazing? And then I realized like America is over caffeinated, right? The food has no nutrition, no nutrients, and the air quality is bad too. So no wonder why so many people struggle. And I was like, wow, now I'm addicted to 4 espresso shots. What do I do? So I had to scale it back, and I felt really tired for like a week or so, scaling it back to 1 espresso shot, which I do now when I'm at home. But yeah, I'm going back next week, actually, going back to Austin, Texas. So I'm curious to see how I'm going to feel.
I think you're going to find some vegan options for sure, but you're going to be happy flying back to Europe.
Austin actually is great vegan options, for sure.
Yeah, but as we know, vegan option is the option, but is it the best option? That is the question.
That's right.
Yeah, but my LA experience was also very interesting because, you know, I was training a lot and I would eat very clean, super clean. Of course, I had a glass of wine here and there, but I felt in a very good shape. Then I came home and I started to eat more conscious because now that I came back from the US, I questioned everything even more, you know, and then you have this understanding of what food really is. That's when I cut out sugar completely, just like fruit sugar and salt. I feel so much better with less salt and my taste got better. I can taste everything even better. And oils. I'm not living on oils for a year, 2 now. And I rather eat the olives than to put the olive oil in my dressing. You know, that's like how I see it. I know it's very extreme. But I was in London last month and I went out for a vegan lunch date and we had like this huge portion of vegan burgers and, you know, I don't know what it was, like vegan dish. And then I really had cravings for sugar. So I ordered the whole list on the cart. And then,
The whole list.
Yeah, the whole list. I wanted to eat everything.
Yeah.
And my body doesn't know what added sugar is for a long time. So what happened? I felt so good for a couple of, let's say 20, 30 minutes. And then on the way back to London Heathrow, I felt so sleepy that I fell asleep in the Uber. I barely made it to the gate. And at the gate, I put like my hand luggage to put my legs up on the luggage so I can sleep. And then I understood how a child actually feels. This was a huge aha moment forever. That means if you feed your child with sugar, they're going to be happy, jumping around. But then when the sugar drops down, that's the phase where they feel like, you know, screaming around. They just want to sleep and they're not in a good mood. This is all food.
Yes. Yeah, it's true.
It's so crazy.
It's so crazy. Like if you have these energy surges and crashes in your day, then it really comes down to your carb intake and if you're having enough protein in the meal as well. Because like carbs, especially simple carbs like sugar, like they spike your energy, right? And then you have a quick drop off. So if you experience that right now, listening to this, then maybe try to have more slow releasing carbs. So like potatoes or quinoa, whole grain stuff that will give you more consistent energy and then combining with protein. But it's funny because just 3 days ago, I stopped eating sugar as well.
Really? Like just fruit sugar, like
Yes,
fructose. Yeah.
So I personally, let me preface this, I don't believe that you need to cut out sugar to be a healthy person. You can have some of it, and as long as it fits into your macros and as long as the rest of your diet is healthy, you'll be fine. You can have your cake, you can have a donut, like it's fine. But I just want to test how it is. I want to test how it is living sugar-free. So 3 days in, only having fruit and obviously my normal food. And I just want to see how it impacts my skin, how it impacts my shape, and how it impacts just how I feel. I'll report back. I'll probably do a podcast on my podcast, like 30 days, no sugar update, basically.
Do that. I mean, now it sounds like it's a challenge for you, a little bit.
Actually, like, to be honest, I didn't have that much sugar to begin with. I had like some ice cream here and there.
Is that the only thing you have to cut out?
Yeah.
Just the ice cream?
Yeah.
And you replace that with some fruits and that's it?
That's it.
Yeah.
Because I had like my healthy day and then I had maybe like 200 calories left open. So I'm like, let me have some vegan ice cream, which works, like it's fine. But I'm like, right now, I'm like, okay, let me have 2 bananas instead. See how that impacts me. So.
Do you believe in reverse aging with a vegan diet?
Yes, I can see it on my clients. They come in, and we have a lot of people in the 30s, 40s, 50s. And yeah, you can see like the years are starting to have an impact. And after just a month or 2 months, like their skin is glowing, there's less wrinkles, they are happy, they're glowing. And like a plant-based diet, especially done the right way, is proven to improve your skin health as well, right? Especially soy is good for your skin. And having a high-protein diet, nutrient-dense diet, very good for your skin. So we have a lot of women in our program, especially women who are in their 30s, 40s, and it becomes more and more important that they get the nutrition and training right, especially around their cycle, right? So women have a 28-day cycle, and a lot of fitness programs or nutrition programs, they just put men and women in one category. It's like, just like do this and you'll be fine. For women though, like with your hormones, you gotta work with your body, right? If you are in that phase or if you are in that phase, you have to adapt. So you have to, for example, train less intense in certain parts of your period of your cycle, and then certain parts you have more energy, you have more strength. You should push in the gym, or sometimes maybe you can have some dark chocolate, or you should have some dark chocolate. So that's what we do with our clients as well.
I like that because you see how the body is designed, and we're so individual. Everyone is so individual. And another thing I want to discuss is the blood type diets. Okay, so I have to admit, I looked it up, what my body digests better than other foods. And I started 2 months ago to cut out, not fully, but in very, very moderation. I'm an A negative. So bananas, coconut, mushrooms, eggplants, and sweet potatoes. These 5 things I used to consume a lot. I just reduced it or none. And it's incredible that I'm less bloated. So do you also see like this works as well for some humans? Or what is your belief?
So the blood type diet, my perspective, is also just a marketing gig, which people are using to sell their programs, to sell their solutions. And our bodies are very similar in a way that we burn energy every day and we have to consume energy every day with food. And as long as we have that imbalance, we'll see certain results. So I personally don't believe in it. I can see how certain foods are better for certain people and some we just can't digest well, right?
Exactly.
I agree with that. Some people can't do gluten, some people can't do soy, some people can't do nuts, and that's fine. But the blood type diet is not something that really is proven or truly works.
Okay. But do you believe, like, I can see that I feel better and lighter just cutting out these veggies or reducing them because I feel less bloated and I can eat something else instead. But I think that we have like intolerances that we should also pay attention and be like, okay, how do I feel when this is my body like naturally going to grab for this fruit or for this veggie, or do I feel to go for something else? I think by intuition you can tell what feels right and what feels wrong.
Yeah, if it works for you, keep doing it.
You have
for
no
sure.
intolerances at all?
I actually don't know. I do want to do like another test, but I can pretty much eat anything. Yeah.
Okay. But now you have your new challenge, 30 days free of added sugar.
Yes. Excited about that. Like, I'm actually curious how it's going to be. I hope I will have more energy. I will have better results in my workouts. So let's see how it goes.
Nice.
I don't need sugar. Like, I don't need the ice cream. I don't need... Like, the number one thing, if you listen to this right now, and you're struggling with eating a lot of sugary foods or candy, or you have these cravings, the easiest thing you can do right now is just don't buy these foods.
Go
Like,
up with the protein.
Just up the protein
Yes.
and don't buy these type of foods. I don't have any stuff at home that would trigger me. Like, I love cereal. I love Cinni-Minis.
No, you go for Hello World granola. This is not a question, okay?
Exactly.
Yes.
Go for Hello World granola. The Cinni-Minis though, like for me, I love them. I'm
Is that
obsessed.
vegan?
Yes, they're vegan.
Oh my God.
But
Like that's from your childhood.
It's just pure sugar. So
Yeah.
I know if I buy a package and it's like 400 grams, like a box, that will be gone in a day. Like, it doesn't survive the night. So I don't buy it. Why would I buy it? Like, it makes no sense. So if you currently struggle with that, just don't buy the stuff. And it sounds simple. It sounds stupidly simple, but that's the solution. I have nothing at home.
Stay away from
I literally have nothing.
Yeah.
Just fruit and good stuff. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, probably it looks the same as in my home. I just have like the
Just less
sunflower and less granola. I have, oh my God, I have like granola for the whole area and for the whole building. But you have like all these things, like just like granola and some nuts, I guess, raw cacao nibs, like these things, I guess, where you can put on a bowl. This is the only thing that has no expiration date.
Yeah, I keep it really basic. I love frozen stuff, frozen berries, frozen veggies, amazing, always on stock.
Bowls.
Soy yogurt, right?
Yeah.
I like to have these tofu, obviously tempeh, but also there's this pea-based fake meat you can buy here in Switzerland. We talked about them before, Planted.
Planted, I know, yeah.
So those are great.
3
protein
ingredients
source.
only, right? It's like salt, water, and Erbsenprotein, pea protein.
Yeah. So really like a bunch of protein, a bunch of veggies, fruit. I'm a rice, big fan of basmati rice and pasta, tomato sauce, tahini, hummus, avocado. Like really basic stuff,
Sounds so good.
right?
It sounds so good, so
delicious.
yummy. Yeah.
So quick question for you. So you said that you eating healthy was kind of tough in LA and US. But could you envision yourself living in the US?
10 years ago, who I was back then, yes. But now with the knowledge, with the wisdom, and with the experience, no. Because I don't see myself in a country like the US where, people think differently than here in Switzerland. I think that I've changed so much, and I see it from a different perspective. Everyone I was meeting, everyone is somebody, especially Hollywood, where I'm like, okay, show me your work, and here is Mira. I can show you my website, my Instagram, and Spotify and everything. And then when it's up to them, I'm still working on it, and I'm like, okay, I got you, and like, I experienced so much like fake promises and people not showing up, and I just have this work ethic, and I love that. And I know that the people appreciated me for who I am, and I believe that I also brought some light to Los Angeles. That's how I see it today. But where do I feel like more flying, in an everyday life? It's just being here where I already created something as a base, and it's in Central Europe. I can travel wherever I want. I only live 5 minutes away from an airport. I have my collaborations. I have the studio, everything, It's my life. I'm not going to give it up for something less than that, what makes me truly happy. Because as you said, 2080, I have like this, is it 80 thing?
80-20, yeah.
Yeah.
20% of the effort creates 80% of the results.
So my effort is my podcast, my Instagram, it's my granola, my bracelet that I am also bringing up to the market now, and my coachings. I know I can do it from everywhere, but I have an apartment, I have family here, I have people who I really call up and be like, hey, let's meet for coffee. Let's have a session.
Yeah.
I need you right now.
It's true. It's interesting. Like, I think people in Europe, on average, they don't just talk. Like, they actually doers. And I think in the US, obviously there's a hustle culture there, but there's a lot of talk. It's
Can
true.
you see yourself living there?
It's an interesting question. So I want to test like at least 2 or 3 months, like solid testing. I probably cannot see myself living there, but I might be wrong. Maybe if I spend 3 months there and I'm around the right people, maybe I'm like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the case. I don't think so, but I will test probably. So I want to test LA, even though it's like people are moving away, they don't like it anymore. But I want to see it, and then I want to also test like the East Coast, maybe New York, Miami, maybe. Probably it's not gonna be my thing, but let's give it a test, for sure.
Do it. You have to see it for yourself, because then you can also see it from a different perspective, and you do this list, pro and cons, and you see like when you get up in the morning and you're so energetic and you love life and you be like, this is the best life of all my lives. This is one of my affirmations that I do. Then I know that I'm in a happy place, and there was more like, okay, what is this day? Like, let's be positive. We will see, people will show up. People will not fake it. People will be honest and real, and it was a great time for me to grow, and I would do it again. Like this was the best school of my life, 3 months in LA, where I outgrown myself in different ways and in different areas. And because of LA, I have this podcast content today. They taught me like, okay, now it's time, Mira, you have to level up. You have to do more content for your podcast. You have to do these reels. This is the American mindset that helped me to grow in my business.
Love it.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always amazing how you put yourself in like outside your comfort zone. I can really tell.
I always do that.
It's amazing.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like a lot of strength. It takes a lot of strength to think differently, to communicate things from a different perspective, because out there's so many people with a lot of opinions. They're not going to agree on my opinion, and I accept that. But they judge you for saying something in a podcast or in an interview or something, and they're just pointing their fingers at you. But do you know who I am? Like, listen to all my previous podcasts and follow me on social media.
There's so much content out there.
Exactly.
They just judge you by one sentence. It's crazy.
But where comes this sentence from? Like, this is the thing. If you're into mindset and you're judging me because of one podcast or of one sentence, then I know that you're not understanding like every perspective. You're very narrow-minded, and I accept it. I'm gonna like your comment and be like, thank you for commenting, this video. I'm fine. Yeah,
I love the mindset. It's haters confirm greatness.
Yes, exactly.
That's what my mentor always says.
And there was this Elvis movie, and there was one sentence that really stayed with me. What is a hater worth if he's not paying? Something like that. Like, so if you have like haters, there was like this one scene, we hate Elvis Presley, so pay for the t-shirt because then it has worth. At least like the hate is worth, So a hater's gonna hate I hate Elvis Presley t-shirt. Maybe we should do that with vegans. I hate vegans, so let's create the money. It's so smart, yeah.
Wow, like a shirt like I hate vegans.
I hate vegans. Do this shirt, and people will buy it. But then in my world, you're supporting something that I'm not supporting because I love vegans. So if I go out promoting I hate vegans, it's not energetically with me.
So interesting.
But yeah, it's all marketing. You see at the end, and I think in this podcast, I also want to show like how important it is to follow someone who already walked the path, as you did as a coach. And coaching with you is not just like, let's eat this and let's work out a couple times a week. It's finding their true soul's way. Where do I belong? What can I do for my benefits when it comes to healthy lifestyle, mindset, and everything?
Yeah, it takes work. It's we make it easy, but it's still work. You still got to wake up early.
Yeah.
Get the meal prep done. So, but once you do that and you get into momentum, then it really becomes lifestyle in the long term.
Yeah, and this lifestyle is just priceless.
It's priceless. Keep staying with you for life.
Yeah. What do you do when people criticize you?
Honestly, what I do is like I try to reply if it's like a comment around my like science-based stuff or my nutrition. I just give my feedback on the comment. If it's just pure hate, I'm just like, okay, like that person is projecting their negativity onto me. It's okay. Like I actually think if you put out content and you don't get hate, that's a bad sign. Like you're not being,
We hate Fritz t-shirts.
Exactly. You're not being too. You're not putting out a message that triggers people. So if you don't get hate on your posts, might be a sign you're not triggering enough and not interesting enough.
Wow, this is a very good perspective. Really.
Yeah, because your content should split people. Like you need to have statements that align with your values that splits people. So it's gonna be like 50% of people are gonna love you, 50% are gonna hate you. If everyone loves you, then there's no friction and then there's no interest. It's like, like eat healthy and drink water and move your body. It's like boring. Like no one cares about that, right? But if you say, don't eat meat, it's not healthy for you, eat plant-based instead because of these reasons.
Yeah.
It's like, bacon, and like you need steak and like people are triggered. So you gotta be very to the point with your content.
And it requires a lot of strength.
Strength, confidence, like tough skin as well.
Everything what you've been through
out.
the last 5 years, I guess.
Exactly. That's why I'm here now.
Yes. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you would like to share with the world?
Yes. I mean, thanks so much for having me. I really commend you for showing up every single year after year on this podcast. I know it's hard work. I'm here, I see it. It's like the whole setup and you got to make sure everything is aligned and you're not like, you don't expect to get anything back from it. You're like, I put this out because I want to put out the message and that's impressive and it's not easy. So props to you. It's hard work and thanks for having me on to share my
for the
journey.
For the third time we are having an interview.
That's right.
Yeah, first it was on social media, then in German last year. Today it's in English, and
next year in French.
Yes, wherever or whatever it is. But I know we're gonna stay connected because real people are rare, and it makes me so emotional to see how you think of me. Because now, we're more than friends. We're like soulmates, something. And I know that. We share the same values. And as we discussed before, everything is about intention. Intention is a vibration. And there are people going after money. People go after creation, after fulfillment, after like connecting with the right people. And this is the vibration that I want to send out with this podcast. Like work on yourself, connect with the right people, and take care of yourself. Prioritize yourself. That's so important.
Yes.
Even though when people think you're narcissist or you're selfish, no, you're going to prioritize yourself. You have your boundaries.
It's so important. I love that you put this out as a message and this podcast is inspiring a lot of people and giving out good emotions and energy. So keep doing it. I love it.
Thank you. So I wonder what's going to happen after 30 years with your skin and with your well-being.
I'm actually curious. Yeah, I'm curious.
And people should follow you on Instagram for sure. You do YouTube videos as well, right?
Yes. So I started my YouTube channel, so they can check it out. Fritz Horstmann is my name. Or if they want to learn about the coaching, vegancoaching.com is the website where they can see if they want to improve their health on a plant-based diet.
Thank you so much. Yeah, please follow Fritz. And don't forget to subscribe, to like, to share, and to support this podcast. Yeah, the more people are liking this video and this podcast, the more you give me also inspiration. And of course, the bad comments are also welcomed, as you know.
Always welcome. Haters confirm greatness.
Of course. Give me whatever you want. But yeah,
as you know,
thank you so much. I wish you all the best and see you very soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, world.